Welcome, guys, to episode 2 of the PhiferFootball podcast. Tonight, we will not be joined by Aaron Wilson just because it is very, very hard to get our schedules aligned, but I'm sure he sends his best wishes, guys. But we're going to go ahead and cover week 6 of the NFL and also heading into week 7. I never have like a straight agenda of what I want to cover when it comes to these podcasts. I just like to talk about really whatever comes up, whatever my mind comes to when it comes to discussing the NFL. I give my opinions, thoughts about everything, guys. So here it goes. What happened last night in Monday Night Football, the Broncos and Chargers. Chargers are never going to get where they want to be if they continue to have Brandon Staley as head coach. It's like they just keep hitting roadblock after roadblock. Whether it was Anthony Lynn or Brandon Staley, they just not getting where they need to be as a team. On paper, their team looks phenomenal and stacked, but they just don't perform that way. And it seems like they're never going to, as long as Brandon Staley is there, or there's just something else that has to change for the Chargers for them to be a competitive team. Russell Wilson just had an MRI on his hamstring, and apparently week 7 status is in doubt just a little bit. Russell Wilson has always been one of the toughest quarterbacks in the NFL. I'm not too concerned about it. I think he'll manage to play. But he says he injured his hamstring in the fourth quarter of last night's 19-16 loss to the LA Chargers. And he had some interesting comments after the game as well. He says that the locker room is not divided up right now. He's like, basically, they're all still together. There's no controversy in the locker room. But guys, there's got to be something that changes, okay? I mean, come on. There's got to be something that changes when it comes to Nathaniel Hackett as head coach. They need to change offensive coordinator. They need to change something because things have to change. I mean, how else do you think the Broncos are going to... I mean, come on. Like, there's just no way they're going to get better as long as Nathaniel Hackett is there. I think he's had 6 weeks. I've never seen a start like this for a head coach where it's like, dude, you might not even make it through a whole season as your first season as an NFL coach. It's just not working. The Broncos had so much high hopes. They're not going to be able to ride that defense all the way to a Super Bowl. It worked for Peyton Manning in 2015, but in today's NFL, you've got to have an offense. You've got to score, and I don't know what they're averaging right now. Let's look. We can look at their offense. Somehow they're still managed to be in third place in the AFC West. They're 2-4. They only have 91 points scored this whole season. That's the second lowest in the AFC, and the only one team in the NFC has points less points scored than the Broncos, and that is the Chicago Bears, who stand at 2-4 as well. So they have the third least amount of points scored for themselves in all NFL. Just terrible. They're on a 3-game losing streak. They have not won a game away from their home stadium. It's just not looking good. Now, they have one of the best defenses in all the NFL, only allowing 99 points scored against them. That's tied. I don't know what the league best is right now. The Bills only has 81 points allowed, which is freaking phenomenal. Let's see. The 49ers have 89. So right now the Bills have the number 1 defense. The Broncos, I think, are tied for 3rd or 4th overall defense in the NFL. But they can't rely on that defense to carry them all the way. It's just like random headlines that I want to talk about in today's podcast, guys, heading into week 7. Tua Tagovailoa for the Dolphins is expected to start. They've had some injuries with their quarterback situation for sure. Teddy Bridgewater did come into the game. But this was after Skylar Wilson got hurt. I think he had a neck injury. Don't quote me on that. There's been a lot going on. There's a lot of drama going on right now around like trade rumors with Cam Akers and even Christian McCaffrey. We do have a quarterback update when it comes to Carson Wentz. He's expected to miss at least 4 to 6 weeks. He did have a surgery yesterday. Head coach Ron Rivera this morning confirms that quarterback Taylor Heineke is prepared to start. He is starting against the Green Bay Packers in Week 7. Rookie quarterback Sam Howell is going to be the backup. He did have some comments on Sam Howell, basically saying that he is on track for being a rookie. He's just, they're just not where they want to be at the moment with Sam Howell and the confidence of being a starter. I don't blame him. He's a rookie. He says this. Ron Rivera says this on Sam Howell. We didn't want to put Sam in this situation this early in his career. I think Sam is still learning what we do and how we do it. All about learning and understanding, ... We think he's on track. We have some crazy trade rumors as well, like I said. Seahawks cornerback Sidney Jones is a player to keep an eye on for trade. The Seahawks secondary is looking really good right now. They may have just gotten another gem in cornerback with, I forget his name, like Tariq Hooley or I forget it. I forget his name exactly right now. But he's looking really good. And I think that other guy, they got Kobe Bryant, that defensive back, is looking really good as well. He's got like 4 interceptions through 6 games, something like that, or 4 in 4 straight games. Let's see here. What else is happening? I know that kicker Rodrigo Blankenship was just signed by the Arizona Cardinals. He was kind of a surprise release by the Colts. I think he just missed like 1 or 2 field goals this season, and then just like they released him. But their backup, or the guy who they signed as a replacement, Chase McLaughlin, has done very, very well. So good for the Colts, I guess, and good for Rodrigo Blankenship getting another opportunity in the NFL. This morning, the Chiefs restructured the contract of tight end Travis Kelce, which created over $3.4 million in cap space. Is this a move that the Chiefs were making this weekend? There was reports saying that the team actually completed this on Saturday. Maybe they're wanting to make a trade. We don't know yet. Trade deadline, I think, is November 1st, I want to say, but don't quote me on that. Tight end Delaney Walker officially announced his retirement. He's 38 years old. It says he's going to hold a press conference announcing his retirement sometime today at Nissan Stadium. So that's interesting. Cam Akers, head coach Sean McVay on Cam Akers, confirms that they're currently trying to trade him, give him a fresh start with a team that could use him. You guys tell me your thoughts on that, because honestly, Cam Akers, a young running back, I think 23, 24 years old. He was coming off a torn Achilles in the 2021 season. Came back for the Super Bowl, I believe, helped them win the Super Bowl. He was projected to be he was drafted pretty highly in fantasy football this year, but he's just not been utilized in this offense. He's not been used, and it's obviously an issue between him and the coaching staff. Yesterday, linebacker Andre Smith was released by the Bills, and today it looks like it was reported by Jordan Schultz, NFL insider for The Score. I forget who signed him. He was signed with somebody. Let me look. Jordan Schultz. He's reported that he was signed by the Jets. So the Jets are adding linebacker depth. The Jets defense, surprising, not really surprising, but they're playing really, really well. The Jets as a whole are playing really well. They beat the Packers 27-10. The Packers look freaking terrible. If you guys don't know, I am a Green Bay Packers fan. I could rant all day about the Green Bay Packers and situations that they need to develop. I just can't believe it, guys. People are like, why aren't they trading for a wide receiver? Why aren't they trading for a wide receiver? I'm telling you right now, Brian Gutekunst did not trade for a wide receiver or add really that huge star wide receiver in the offseason. I don't see him doing it now, but if he doesn't do it now, he's going to get tons of backlash. Obviously, we all knew the Packers did not have a true wide receiver one heading into the season, but it is truly, truly showing. And Aaron Rodgers had comments after the loss to the Jets saying he needs to this offense for the Green Bay Packers needs to be simplified, and it hasn't been. And then Matt LaFleur comes on and he says, I don't know what that means. Are you kidding me, Matt LaFleur? Aaron Jones had, 4 carries that first half against the Jets? How do you do that, man? He even said after last week's game, we got to get the ball in the hands of 33 and 28, and they still don't utilize it. They had Aaron Jones on the sideline on some third key third downs, and then they would pass the ball to A.J. Dillon. Aaron Jones is the more dynamic out of the two, especially if you're going to pass the ball. I love A.J. Dillon. I think he can catch the ball just fine, but he's more hard running downhill runner. Aaron Jones is the more elusive guy, make people miss in the open field kind of runner. And another thing the Packers do, man, is they just constantly, like, it's 3rd and 5, yet you throw the ball 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage on a screen to go for first down. It's just simple things that they are. You can tell Aaron Rodgers is frustrated. He wants this offense simplified. And the Matt LaFleur's comment saying, I don't know what that means. If you don't know what that means, dude, you've got problems. They're going to be button heads, and it's not looking good for Matt LaFleur. It's kind of like the same excuses every week. So I'm interested to see what develops in Green Bay and how they bounce back against the Washington Commanders. If they find, in my opinion, if they find a way to lose to the Washington Commanders, it is going to be a very, very long rest of the season. Washington Commanders are not really a great team, and they are starting backup quarterback Tyler Heineke, and I love Taylor Heineke. I'm sorry, but it's you've got to capitalize on moments. Like, they don't capitalize on turnovers. The Packers have never scored. This is the least amount of points scored through 6 games in Aaron Rodgers' career in his tenure with the Packers. It's nuts. So they've got a lot of work to do. How many points do the Packers have scored? It is, oh my gosh, it's 107 points scored for the Green Bay Packers this season. That is only 5 more points scored than the Washington Commanders. They've allowed 123 points. I mean, they've got so much work to do, guys. It's not even funny. The Green Bay Packers not heading in a great direction right now. Tell me your thoughts on that, because it's just not looking good, guys. There's other headlines I want to talk about. You know, Christian McCaffrey has trade rumors, and with the Panthers, and with the Rams trying to trade away Cam Akers, I can see the Rams being one of those potential suitors for Christian McCaffrey. Same with the Bills. I don't see the Bills being a suitor for Rams running back Cam Akers, because they kind of already have 2 or 3 decent running backs, but they don't have a star running back, and that's what they're going to want. Cam Akers is not yet a star running back. He's just going to be like one of those. He has the potential to be, but a guy like Christian McCaffrey has already proven himself. Now he needs to stay healthy, but the Bills are probably going to take a chance to get a guy like Christian McCaffrey. They've got Zach Moss, Devin Singletary, and is it James Cook? But none of them are really star running backs. So, and James Cook is a rookie. So they need one of those star dynamic running backs who come out of the backfield, catch the ball like Christian McCaffrey, open field speed. That offense is just going to get better with a guy like Christian McCaffrey. They'd probably get better too with Cam Akers, but I see them taking a shot on CMC before they do Cam Akers. But like I said, with the spot of Cam Akers opening up, if he's traded away, the Rams are going to need some more depth at running back. Christian McCaffrey could be one of the guys they look at. I try to keep these podcasts between 15 to 20 minutes. So, because I don't want to bore my viewers, I don't want to bore my listeners and rant on and on and on and on. And if you guys have any questions, you can leave those in the comments below. I'm just covering headlines at the moment and things that I think are important heading into week 7. I think I already talked about Tua Tagovailoa and that he's expected to start. Deshaun Jackson is visiting with the Ravens today. Deshaun Jackson is 35 years old, and he's made it known that his 3 teams he wants to play for, I want to say it was the Packers, the Ravens, or who else was it? I'll have to look to see if I can find that post. But he has apparently made it known that there's only 3 teams that he would like to play for, and he's working out for one of them today, so good for Deshaun Jackson. But if you're the Green Bay Packers, dude, you got to add something. You've got to do something at wide receiver. You've got to add it down the field stretch. I don't think Aaron Rodgers has ever had this low of passing. Like, his average yards per pass attempt is like so low. It's the lowest in his career. I don't have the stats pulled up in front of me, but like you got it at a weapon that can stretch the field, can be a downhill threat like Deshaun Jackson. I mean, come on, it's Deshaun Jackson. He may be 35, but the dude does not lose a step. He is injury prone, but like you got to take a risk right now. You got to do something to add him. And if he does go down with an injury or something, you're back to where you were at least. I mean, you're not getting better if Deshaun Jackson gets hurt. You're not exactly going to get much worse than where you were. So it's kind of like you're in between there. And Deshaun Jackson, I think it was the Ravens, Packers, or he wants to go back to the Eagles. Obviously, the Eagles are 6-0, the only undefeated team left in the NFL. They have 161 points scored, and they've only allowed 105 points. So their defense is playing lights out. Their offense is also lights out. 161 points scored, which is the most in the NFC. And let me see how they rank compared to the AFC. The only teams that have more points scored than the Eagles this year are the Buffalo Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs. Two of those teams, and those are two teams that are also Super Bowl contenders. The Bills are 5-1, Chiefs are 4-2, tied for first place with the Chargers for AFC in the AFC West. But the Chargers are a scrappy 4-2 right now. They've allowed 152 points. Their defense is not living up to what they can do. Their offense is not necessarily either. But the Bills, 176 points scored. The Chiefs, 179. And then the Eagles, 161. But the Eagles' offense and defense are both playing just lights out. Obviously, the best team in the NFC right now. I did not predict the Eagles to be starting out this well. I did not have them winning. I think I had them maybe competing for their division to begin the season, but I did not have them leading the NFC at all. I didn't think they were going to be a Super Bowl contender, but they're proving that they could be. Anyways, guys, I want to thank you so much for tuning into this episode. Like I said, between 15 and 20 minutes is where I'm going to keep these podcasts so I don't bore you guys. And if you think there's anything that I need to work on, or if you like the fact that I kind of jump around and talk about some trending topics that you guys want to hear about, if you like that, let me know in the comments below. Guys, much love to you. Stay sweet, and I will catch you on the next podcast. Appreciate you all. Going to start releasing these podcasts on Tuesdays. I'll see you guys in the next one.